Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 17th. My name is Karen and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome everybody. This is my knitting channel. I mostly talk about knitting here. I do talk about some books and life stuff, but mostly knitting. So welcome. If you're new here, I appreciate that you're tuning in, and I encourage you to like and subscribe. If you've been here before and you haven't liked and subscribed, I encourage you to like and subscribe because that really helps the channel. So let's jump into things, shall we? This should be a fairly short episode. I don't have a whole lot to show you. First of all, I am sitting in front of the project bag door. I have, for those of you who haven't been here before, I have all these are my knitting project bags, and I have yarn in them. I have patterns connected to them in Ravelry. I know what I'm going to knit with them. I just have not cast them on. And some of these have been in project bags for a few years. So they've been on the store, and the problem is that there's so many project bags on the store that I can't open it all the way, and it's a fire hazard. So I am trying to work through the project bag door this year. It's been slow going. I think I started the year with like 17 project bags on there, and I don't know what we're at now, but it's not moving as fast as I need it to. So that said, let's just dive into what I am working on. I have no whips, or not no whips. I have no finished objects. I have been not knitting as much this past week, and then I've had some issues with my knitting, so I need to pick up the pace, shall we say. So all right, I will show you my active whips now. I have 4 of them. First one is living in my Fat Squirrel Fibers knitting bag. Love this. I think she does have she brings back this fabric quite a bit, so if you go onto her website, you might actually get one of these. And I think it comes in other colors too. These bags are really quality bags. I love them. I would own a bunch of them if, you know, I didn't have all these behind me. All right, right now this is a tangled mess, so give me a second to untangle it. This is the Aani Shirt by Adrift, and it's basically a tank top, and I am knitting it in Pearl Soho cattail silk. The yarn itself is just lovely. I went down a size, and I think we will end up having a very beautiful, delicate fabric, so I'm very happy about it. So sorry, it's got so many lifelines and all kinds of things. So here is the beginning of the back, and you knit a portion of the back, and then you put it on waste yarn, or these are the barber cord, and then you pick up for the straps on the on it. Oh, I was showing it to you backwards. Let me try that again. All right, so then there it is. The hang on, I have a needle going through. This is kind of a mess, huh? Okay, there we go. I hope that didn't stretch out the fabric. Okay, there it is. Ignore there's a stitch marker, if you can see it there. It's just sitting there. It's not, doesn't signify anything. So that's the back of it. I picked up stitches here, did some German short rows, knit in back, did the shaping for the front, and I then put it on another barber cord, and now I'm doing the other side, and eventually they will meet and they will connect it under the arms, and then I will do more length. So that color is patina blue, but I've said this before, this is not patina blue. The color you're probably seeing on your screen is wrong. This is more of a green, like a sea farm green. It's your screen determines the color you see, basically, not what I'm recording. So what I see is what it truly is. So, and yeah, it's beautiful, but it is very kind of sheer, delicate fabric that's being knit up. So I will probably wear this, layer it with like a linen shirt over it, or something over it, so that it gives it, you know, just kind of a little dressy look, but with, you know, some coverage. So I am not knitting this nearly as fast as I would like. I need to pick it up here because I'd like to take this when I go on vacation in 3.5 weeks. So I need to step up my knitting game. So I bought 2 skeins of the cattail silk, and there's the one, and then here's the other. So, all right. Sorry, there's a big truck outside and my window's open, so you might be able to hear truck better than you can hear me, and I apologize if that's the case. All right, so that project is not a problem project. It's just a matter of being, you know, that I'm knitting slow on it, which is fine because I think slow knitting is okay. So now I'll show you a few of my problem projects, and let's talk about, well, actually I'll show you one more that's not a problem project. It's just one that's going to take, well, I originally said it was going to take me a year to knit this. It's going to take me a few years at the rate I'm going, honestly. All right. This is my incredible blanket. Also another Purl Soho, Purl Soho pattern and Purl Soho yarn. So this is very slow going, and I'm not, well, if I wanted to cheat right now, I could say I'm going to bind off and make it into a scarf because it's long enough for that. But no, I'm going to keep knitting on it. It's easy knitting. It's just you're constantly changing colors. So, and this is in a free pattern on Purl Soho's website. And they recommend you use the Purl Soho linen quill, which is a very nice yarn. I think you could get by with any yarn that you want to knit it with. If you have scraps, this is definitely doable. So I'm enjoying it, and whether I continue to knit on it as it gets warmer here, I don't know. We'll see, but it is something I plan on just continuing to knit as long as I need to until it's a blanket of big enough that it will cover me up and make me happy. So the one thing I don't like about this blanket is on the back you have all of these ends, and you weave, well, okay, I weave them in as I go. These are all woven in, they're just not cut, and I don't like the look of you know, I don't know, I mean, it's the back side, but I'm wondering if there's a better way to do it, but I'm not gonna rip it out at this point. It's gonna stay. All right. Sorry. Now on to the problem projects. I did not show you, but I have my big knitting basket. Here, I'll show it to you now. This, what remains in here are all problem projects. We'll go with the one that's easiest, but this is the biggest one. Sorry, now we got trucks honking horns. This one is my Pierre Pullover by Stephen West. I am knitting it with La Bien-Aimée. Hang on, let me double check which yarn. It's La Bien-Aimée. Sorry. Merino DK. It's a very nice yarn, very squishy. So I'm enjoying it. Here it is. I am short half a sleeve and another sleeve. It's bound off otherwise. I'll be honest with you. I am stuck kind of just languishing on Sleeve Island. I don't know why. I mean, there's technically nothing stopping me from just sitting here knitting. in finishing this sweater. And I'm just, it's like I've lost my mojo. I'm just, I knit a little bit. I think I knit this much, like just the dark purple. I knit it. It's fine. I'm doing decreases, the whole thing fine. But I do a few rounds of it and then I'm over it. I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I seriously think that I am stuck on Sleeve Island, and I've never had this happen before, and I need someone to come rescue me. I don't know. I think part of it is that it is May here in Colorado and it's hot. I mean, it's not super hot, but we're like in the high 70s, low 80s. So to finish knitting this, you know, I'm kind of not feeling the overwhelming need to. So I will get it done. I just am like, just not like motivated. Like, I'm like, okay, I did 4 rows. That's it for today. It may be one of those projects that I don't finish until February, but this was on the project door. So, you know, like, I need to finish it because it, you know, I don't want to cast on anything else until I get the 4 whips I currently have off my needles. So I kind of need to pick up the pace. And I don't know, I just, this week, I'm not feeling like the overwhelming need to knit. And I really need to get my mojo back, basically. So, all right. That is, like I said, that's the Pure Pullover by Stephen West. It's just living in a La Bien-Aimée snap bag from Jimmy Bean's wool. So, oh, and I have I'm using my little Chaogu interchangeables, my small ones, to knit the sleeves. So that's what that was. All right, next problem project, and this one truly is a problem project. I was having so much fun the last week. And then I had a major issue, and I've been staring at this for like 3 days, unmotivated to fix it, but I have to fix it. So first of all, these are hang on, I have to get on the project page so I tell you the right information. These are my color block rib socks by Summer Lee. They're in her sock project book, her latest book. I think it's her only book, but yeah, you know what I mean. And they're not color blocked because I didn't want to do color block. I just wanted to do a rib pattern. So this is them. And when you see this color, oh, if this doesn't make your heart sing, I don't know, something's wrong with you. Look at this. Look, is that not just the most, I mean, every time I pulled this out and I was knitting it this past week, it just brought a smile to my face. It is so beautiful. So the yarn is Yarn Badger Purple Rainbow self-striping, and then the yellow, that's this, and then the yellow up here in the heel is Soccer Mom Knits, and just yellow. But here's my problem. Hang on, let me find the issue. There it is. Something happened while I was knitting it. I dropped one of my picked up stitches, and I'm having to basically rip out. I'm backing all the way out. You can't really see it because I've kind of doctored it up, but it has to be. Basically, I have to rip out at least back to where that little, well, you can't, yeah, see, can you see it? Right there, see, right there. I need to go back and do the gusset again because as I was knitting it, like some stitch popped loose and I had this giant hole on my heel. I tried to fix it without ripping out, but it wasn't working. So I started to rip out last night and I was like, I didn't want to do this. So yeah, it's in my project. It's currently in the corner. thinking about what it's done, and I need to get more motivated to finish it. I mean, I was on a roll. Actually, I like to knit socks 2 at a time, but on separate needles. But that, I had started knitting on this. Hang on one second. I had started knitting on this, and I was so loving the self-striping yarn and how beautiful it was. I was like, I'm just gonna knit 1 at a time. I'm just gonna go. And I was making really good progress. And then that, stitch, I don't know, it fell off. I don't know. Just, yeah, kind of ruined my mojo there. All right, so those are all my problems. Oh no, I have one more problem. I have many problems, but this one, okay. I had shown you this last week as a completed project. This is my grandson Atticus's hat, his Oslo hat. I can never remember that. It's beautiful. Okay, this is knit out of hedgehog fibers, alpaca DK, and it's gorgeous. I blocked it, everything beautiful. Then though, I was noticing where I don't know if you're gonna be able to see because it's so dark, where I did the slip stitches and the decreases, basically. I have a whole like thing or line here where it's not tight, and it looks fine on the surface, but when you put it on, let me see if I can get it. I don't want to stretch it out any more than it is. See where my finger is? Right there. I have like one whole section there that is like the stitches are just not tight. It's the same on, I don't know what happened, but I'm not happy with it. I'm not gonna rip it out though. I don't have time for that. Instead, I'm gonna take the time to take some, you can see it better on the inside, kind of how loose the decreases are. I'm gonna take the yarn I still had left, which was this, so not a whole lot, and I'm gonna go on the inside and kind of stitch it up and close it up. But I noticed that after I blocked it, and I was like, again, not something he needs right now. First of all, he's not gonna be able to wear it till fall anyways because it's kind of big, but I need to like doctor it up to make it wearable in the fall, and I think I'd like to do that before the fall and just get it out of my house. So that is one thing that I'm going to be working on. So yeah, last week I talked to you about I wanted to cast on another Oslo hat in the hedgehog fiber colorway, banana legs. That's it, banana legs. I did not, I meant to wind the yarn and all that, but I did not do it. I was just not feeling the mood to do it. So hopefully we'll see it. Hang on. Got a call coming in and I'm recording on my phone, so I'm not going to talk to them. All right, so that's it as far as knitting things. I have not made progress on a whole lot of anything. I'm sitting over here on Sleeve Island. I've got all kinds of things I have to fix, issues I have to fix and all that. And I just really need to kick myself in the butt and get moving on it. But I just have not had that motivation this week. So sorry if this is depressing. Tell me how to get the mojo back though, because I just feel like I'm in a funk with my knitting, with my life, with everything. So, all right, let's go on to life stuff. So if you're not gonna stick around, that's fine, I understand. I will hopefully see you again. I hope that you do like and subscribe and that you come back. So, all right, you might any second now be hearing a bunch of kids screaming because I hear the kids from our neighborhood school walking back. They go, I live in a downtown Denver high-rise. There's a school near me. They walk them like 3 blocks to a park because they have very limited outdoor space at the school. So in the afternoons they spend a lot of time at the park, and they march them down. Oh, here they come. I can hear them. And they march them back, and they are all chanting some marching song. So if you hear it, that's what it is. So my husband and I actually really enjoy it. We love hearing, just like hearing the kids out and about and all that stuff, and the fact that where we live and stuff, that they offer a school like they do. So, all right, that was totally off topic, wasn't it? And the camera's kind of waving, so I'm sorry if, yeah. All right, let's get on with things. All right, I still am in a funk, not as bad. I don't know, just life stuff going on. I'll get over it. I realized this past week that we're a month out from our big trip. So I'll tell you what our big trip is, just because it's, sorry, I see the kids marching. They're not chanting right now. They only do it when they're crossing the streets. And so they were actually crossing over here behind us, and now they're walking down to the park. So, all right, our vacation is coming up. It is a big trip that we committed to a few years ago. It has evolved. It has gone back and forth. Our adult son, it had turned 40 this spring, and he had originally wanted to rent a house in Greece and have all of his friends and family come and have a big celebration. Well, people did not want to do that. But my husband and I still wanted to go with them on a big trip, but not, like hang out with 100 of his closest, dearest friends. I mean, most people can't really afford that. Let's be honest. We couldn't afford it. But we finally agreed that we would all go on just a vacation, a normal vacation. We are going to be in Greece, but we are actually going to be going, so my husband and I are going to Rome for a week, and then my son and daughter-in-law, they actually are going to come a few days after we get there, and they're going to bring the baby, and then a week after we get there, we're going to get on a cruise ship, which my husband and I had said we were probably not going to cruise again. We've been on like 5 cruises, but we just kind of were over it. But they've never been on a cruise, and because we will have the baby with us, we thought, well, that's kind of a nice way to go to a bunch of places and not have to like move, like unpack and pack and haul the baby around and all that. So the cruise went out, and we're going to be on a cruise for 10 days, mostly the Greek islands, but also we're making some stops in Malta, which was never on my radar, but I heard it's nice, in Turkey, which just so happens that I was born in Turkey. I never thought I would go back to Turkey, but going back to Turkey. So we're looking forward to it. After the cruise, my husband and I are going to ditch them in Barcelona, where we've been already, and we're going to take a train to Paris for a couple days, just because we would like to see Paris. We've never been to Paris. And then our plane going home leaves from Amsterdam. We got a really good deal on flights, but the flights are not like we fly into Rome, but we leave from Amsterdam. That was part of the deal, which was fine, because we were originally talking about my son was going to buy my daughter-in-law and I tickets to go see Taylor Swift, who is performing in Amsterdam the few days that we're there. But then it just didn't work out, so we're not doing Taylor. They are actually going to go to my son and daughter-in-law are going to, I guess, like, well, somewhere in Spain after we ditched them. My husband and I have spent a lot of time in Spain, so we were like, no, we're not going to go. We're going to go do our own thing. So we're going to Paris, and then we're going to go to Amsterdam, spend a few days in Amsterdam. The plan is that I will get to go to Stephen and Penelope, so that's good. Yeah, so we're excited, but it kind of came at a bad time, and, we are just like feeling like, well, no, I'm just whining now. I just am whining. All right, so yeah, we're excited. But yeah, we just, it's a month away, and so, you know, just getting things done. I'm trying to get some work stuff done, and then you know, stuff around the house and all that. Our daughter is not going because she is in her final 2 semesters of college, and she has internships and field work and all this stuff she has to do, so she is too busy to join us. And so we got a built-in dog sitter because of that, so she'll be staying behind watching the dogs and all that. So yeah, so that's the big vacation. So it's a month away. I don't know what I'm gonna do because, well, technically I'll be like not filming for almost a month, but I think I'm gonna film some stuff in advance so that you have, you know, so that I'll have some content, and then I might take 1 week off, but we'll see. All right, there goes another school group. See them going. They're all pushing they always take a wagon full of like water and treats and backpacks and the things you need when you leave the school. There they go. So, all right, other things, life stuff. Not too much. We did a couple, we hung out with our grandson Wednesday. Yeah, I have a boring life. I did interview for a new job, but I'm pretty sure that they're gonna pass on me because they can't afford me. But I also am glad that they're gonna pass on me, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't know, the job just it didn't feel like a good fit for me personally. I could make it work, but I wasn't too thrilled about it. After I found out more about it, I was kind of like, yeah, no. But they did, you know, went through the whole interview process and all that, so that was good. But I just still have my other job, so, you know, it's not going away. Other things, nothing really. It's just been beautiful here. It's definitely spring here. I mean, like spring, summer. It's not, I don't think we'll get any more snow. We might get some rain, but just beautiful weather. I pulled out all my summer stuff, all my summer clothes yesterday out of storage. So most of it I'm gonna keep, but some of it I need to try on because, you know, waistlines and things change. So I need to try on some things, and hopefully later today I will. I know, exciting stuff. Am I just boring you to tears? I'm boring myself to tears. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. Sorry. All right, we're almost to 30 minutes. That's pretty good for not saying a whole lot. Oh, I should talk about what I'm reading and watching. I did, we watched one episode of The Handmaid's Tale. We watched like one episode of some show each week. Like only one though. So, because God forbid we watch too much TV. My husband and I. It was good though. The one before, the week before we watched one, and it really depressed me. It made me even worse than depressed than I already was. So, yeah, I was not too thrilled about that one, but this one kind of made up for it. So, all right, things I'm reading. Let's talk about things I finished reading though, because really those are best for me. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where I left off. Oh, I finished the book The Women by Kristen Hanna, which someone here recommended. It's a story of women that fought in Vietnam, and they were trauma nurses, and they were on the ground in Vietnam, and people don't acknowledge them, and it really is, you know, part of history that people don't discuss. And the book itself was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. So I'm sorry I don't remember who it was that recommended it, but I love that book. It was, I couldn't put it down, basically. So very good book. The other book that I finished was Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. He wrote The Man Called Ove, I think is the book. But I had read another book of his, and this was the sequel to that book, and it was really good. I think is he Norwegian? I think he's Norwegian, and I think parts of the translation, because he writes quite a few books, and they're all good from what I can tell. But sometimes when you translate out of other languages, the books, it doesn't quite flow like I think it would in the native language. So there were parts of this book that I was like, that didn't quite fit. But I think it was more like a translation issue than the book was bad or anything. So I really enjoyed the book, and I am a fan of his now. I had not really read I read A Man Called Ove, and it was fine, but it was not the kind of book that just like, oh, I gotta read everything he's ever written. Then I read My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry, which that book was so good, and that's the book that made me then want to read Brit Marie Was Here. And yeah, I would keep reading his books because they're very good. So those are the two I finished this week. I have 6 more books that I'm reading. We won't go into them until I finish because, all right, that's all I got. We're gonna end this. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I hope you have a great weekend, great week whenever you're watching this, and that you are kind to others, kind to yourselves, and keep on knitting. Bye.